Are you not exhausted at this point? Are you not absolutely shattered and exhausted right now?
Can you not see the bags underneath my eyes, bro?
We love playing music, man.
Sick. Welcome to another episode of Sludge Underground. I have got a special guest with me today, all the way from Cape Town. Lads, introduce yourself, who you are and what you do.
Okay, my name is Gareth. I play guitar, I do vocals for the band. And yeah, I try and run the management facets of the band, like handle all the bookings and all that other kind of nonsense. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Quick and easy.
Yeah, what's up? Lyle from the Man Motels. I play bass. I do some backup vocals. Hopefully our drummer Carl will join us soon, man.
In the arms of the angel.
Drummers are always late, bro. Even at rehearsals, what the hell? It's like you practice at 7, we there at 6:30. This one gets at the 8:30. Like, you know what I mean? We've cycled through a few, and all of them are fucking late always, bro. Like,
And it's like the irony is not lost upon me that it's the person in the band that's supposed to be keeping time. But when it comes to anything else, they're like fucking
exactly.
just the most unreliable, like off-time people. It's actually one of the greatest aspects of life. Like you gotta love it. And yeah, you guys have been doing a crazy amount, like especially not just in Cape Town. You boys have been incredibly busy. You have been playing all over South Africa. You have recently also been playing all over the world, and you've also been working on new music. Are you not exhausted at this point? Are you not absolutely shattered and exhausted right now?
can you not see the bags underneath my eyes, bro?
We love playing music, man.
No, bro. I reckon. To be honest, I think the scene right now in South Africa is so fast and it's so furious that there's no real time to. Well, it depends on what you want from this. This is a conversation that we have a lot. Is what is your ambition when you're making music? You know, is it a hobby or is it something that you want to take further than just a hobby? And I think that dictates how fast and how much work you're going to put into a project at the end of the day. So yeah, bro, like we work. I think everything is so fast that if you don't keep on working, if you don't keep on pushing, you will just become, another band, which we definitely don't want. Like, I mean, we believe in our music. We think that what we have is special. And I think we pride ourselves heavily on our work ethic and how hard we work and how much time and effort we put into this project. And I think that's one of the reasons why we managed to do what we are currently doing, So being tired is chill, bro. It's all a labor of love at the end of the day.
I mean, it's definitely as far as I know, like it's from my perspective, it's something we love doing. So I mean, you're busy, but it's like something that's giving you energy, like getting to play to new people, getting to record new music, try new stuff, play different places. That's, it seems busy, but you're enjoying it. So it's definitely not something that's taking away energy.
The only thing that sucks, which I think everybody will agree to, is, you put in all this effort and you promote for months on end and you try and be the most prepared that you can be. Then you get on stage for 30 minutes and it's all done, bro. Just like that. So you always have to try and like remind yourselves, guys, let's go up there and really enjoy ourselves. But even in that spur of trying to be on stage and just like taking in the moment, it still just goes by like this, bro. So maybe there's actually no time to be tired. That's just how it is.
I 100% agree with like the aspect of, how you're approaching it, where it's what do you want out of this? But we unfortunately live in like a landscape of music and just content creation at this point that it's very easy to become very quickly irrelevant. It's people's focus shifts so quickly these days with, the advent of social media and especially short form content. It's really is like a consistent work to stay in the public eye and to stay relevant, which can like detract from the value of making music. I feel like sometimes I think a lot of people end up making music specifically to try and stay relevant instead of trying to convey an actual message, which finding that balance can be really fucking hard.
Bro, I'm going to tell you a crazy story here quickly. Just coming off one of what you said over there, you spoke about like in the public's eye. So we haven't had a proper conversation yet with the new music of what will be released as singles. We've had a quick conversation, but one of the singles that I don't know when it will come out, but one of the singles is a song called Weight of Gold. And the very first lyrics that I'm hitting over there, it says, "In the public's eye." You'll finally realize it didn't mean a thing. It left you empty within. It's all about this whole like how fucking crazy shit is, bro. Like people are they're so obsessed with what people are going to think. Are they still relevant? Like, I mean, that's something that I maybe realized a little bit later on. The older I got as a individual, and the longer I've been in the scene, is that I started like really just wanted to do something that I enjoy, not like constantly worrying about, holy fuck, we're not doing enough. Like, like we have to keep on doing this and that, and we have to make music like this that's going to speak to this kind of like scene. It's got nothing to do with that. And that song is all about like how you can be so blinded by like what you've been I don't want to use the term condition, but like you've been taught a specific thing, which I think that takes so much of the joy of being a musician away from you. So I think that's it's so funny. So like those are the opening lyrics, is exactly what we're talking about right now. So again, like I mean, we're not talking about the new album yet, but the new album is very, very orientated around that whole like concept of what we've come to understand is like being normal, but it's not at all. Like,
That's actually what a wild like coincidence in terms of phrasing.
Yeah.
Like actually, fucking,
Yeah.
we'd been speaking a little bit before this. I didn't fucking expect to nail that one on the head. Recording is currently a big deal. You were saying earlier before we started recording that it's been a while since you've released music. It's been about 2 years, and you've recently just finished up recording your, if I'm not mistaken, is your new album. And obviously the progress with that. You boys have obviously been busy for the last 2 years. It's not like you've been sitting around doing nothing. How are you feeling about the new album? What would you like to tell people about it?
Yeah, man, I'm just very, very excited about the music that we're gonna be putting out. I think, like, truly, I think everyone says this every single time, but I think it's definitely some of the best and most interesting and most diverse music that we're going to be having put out to date. And really, like, taking our time. We want to just make the music that we want to release for our own sake, and we think that people are really going to enjoy what we're putting out there. So it's been a really fun process, like we are focusing on just doing maybe splitting it up and releasing it into 2 different batches. So maybe doing an EP and an EP, which together could be an album. So we focused on the first bit now, and we've got that done at Dean. Yeah, very exciting. Hopefully, we're going to finish up some Vox and some guitars this week, maybe, or in the next few weeks, and then maybe we can get onto the mixing. I don't know, Gareth, do you have anything else you want to say?
That was the thing. So we've got about 14 new songs that we want to put on an album, but in this like day and age, again, like we're talking about content and trying to stretch out your release, because I feel like and it's not about being relevant. It's about making the most of the music that you've got, making the most of the media that you've got at your disposal. So we've gone into studio, instead of going in and bashing out 14 tracks, we've done 6, right? This is realistic, for us to make sure that the drums are properly tracked, bass goes down, guitars get done. We're going in, we're going to do vocals now. Then that's 6 tracks, bro. So we can stagger that. We can release a brand new track from an EP for 6 months. And during that 6-month period, hopefully we'll be in a position where we're going and we can record the rest of the album. So you can be one long release, and then you can, boom, all of a sudden, here's the album, we released it. And the idea is that we definitely want to try and give you something physical where you can listen to the album before it's actually released online. So we really want to make this a special release. Like Lyle was saying, every single time we always have this conversation of, oh, this is the best music that we've ever written or whatever. But every year that you spend in the scene and all the work that you put in, the conversations that you have and the shows that you played, it all influences you, and you all grow. You all end up growing as, not as individuals, but as a unit and as a band. And naturally, the music that you're going to make is going to be more superior or more intricate and different and more like layered versus the stuff that you put out before. And I think this is a very like serious version of the band that's coming out now. And like, it's showing you that we're not just run straight, tackle hard kind of stuff. Like, I mean, we do think about things, and we want this to be pretty, and we want it to be intricate, and we want you to actually think about it. Like, sit there and be like, damn, I mean, that piece of music makes sense. And that's not even listening to lyrics. That's just actually feeling and understanding what it is that we're trying to do with our instruments,
There's a lot of discourse at the moment, especially around about like the death of albums. Like a lot of people say that, it's so easy these days to just hit a playlist, listen to a single from a band, fire and forget. And like for me personally, I might just be because I am a fucking millennial. I did grow up listening to CDs. I did grow up with physical media, and I still have what I like to call comfort albums. Albums that tell a story or like
For
a,
sure.
a specific sequence of songs and how all those songs relate to each other. There's something just really intrinsically valuable about that to me. And I personally feel like that needs to make a comeback. But again, it comes back down to how people are writing songs. They're writing songs for that single release, for those
Yeah.
segmented, like staggered releases. There isn't like really so much of one consistent story being told. Well, there's still artists doing this, but it kind of falls to the wayside because of how, just as you said earlier, fast and the furious it goes. But I really like the concept of that you're doing physical media for it. That's fucking sick. Please tell me more about that. Like what's kind of the plan that you guys have for the physical media?
The thing is that doing like physical media, it is very, it's a tricky thing to do because first of all, it normally does cost you quite a bit, and then the chances of people not buying the stuff is also there, so you can make a loss. However, the thing is now, especially in Europe, it seems like we went out with merchandise, but we chose not to take any like physical like music with us. Where the one thing that is consistently being requested from us is, have you got CDs? Have you got vinyls? So people, it's like they don't mind buying a shirt and a hat, but they actually want to physically buy your music. It seems so, and that's not from online. They want to have something like they want to hold it. Even if they're not even going to play it, they bought your music, which is like I guess they feel that's like the best way to support a band. So I love having something physical. I don't know if it's because maybe we a little bit slightly more old school. I don't even know if that term is relevant, but like for me, I like to have something. I want to see something that we've put together, a lot of thought, because whenever I look at it, it might be different. When I look at it, I'm going, I remember when we had the conversation, or like we had an argument about this, and that artwork is how we did it. So it's so much more than just something that is you can hold. It's so special,
Mhm.
bro. So in terms of the actual physical media that we want to do, we haven't yet properly decided what we're going to do, but there will be something physical, whether it be tape, vinyl, or CD. There's definitely is going to be something that you can get your hands on for sure.
That's so sick.
I think having physical media allows us, to the extent that we're artists, and I think we all view ourselves that way, to express ourselves in like an additional dimension with respect to the music. You can do artwork, and I think when we were younger, you'd get the CD or the record, and you could look at the pictures and the way in which the band laid out some of the images and the lyrics, and it would add an entirely extra dimension to the experience. Like the original Black Sabbath album, you can hear that rain, and you can be sitting there looking at that scary image on the front of their album, and it just adds something to your experience. So I think physical media is really something that's been missing in the past few years. So we're keen to do that, whatever form it ultimately may take. But I would be keen to do vinyl just because then you get to do a really big picture.
Yeah, yeah. You can have this big like fucking A0 poster of the Man Motels on your wall.
Exactly, man. That's dope. Nothing like a vinyl.
But I think also just touching on last point, I think we were all very fortunate to start our journeys in this like whole musical world when that was a big thing, where releasing something physical was a big thing, because there was always this hype of like going and printing CDs and deciding what the artwork is going to be, and like showing your friends a CD and everyone's like, no ways, they look so fucking sick, bro. Like it's that hype, and like you've put extra, like to put your music online, it's fucking easy, bro. Everybody can do it, like but to go and do the work behind something physical, it's like a different process. It adds a different layer of appreciation into your own art. So I think we're very fortunate of where we started out, and I think we love that facet of it. So we're definitely keen to reinvest in that area.
And to like tack on what you're saying, like we view ourselves as artists, not content creators. We're not just making a song as content to be consumed by someone. We're proud of the music and we want to build something. So you make the song, you make artwork, you put it all together, and that's this artistic product that you've produced.
Especially in recent months, more so than ever, we've had that huge contention about what digital ownership actually is. Uh, there's that obvious, like, let's be honest, like having digital platforms like Spotify, like YouTube Music, like Apple Music, those have opened the doors to artists to reach audiences they otherwise would never
For
have
sure.
reached. Like we cannot kind of understate the value and the impact and the game changer that was. But
100%.
more and more with like the greed of corporations, we're running into the issue of what does it mean to actually own something? What does digital ownership actually mean? And then there's obviously the whole thing happening with Sony at the moment and the fucking blindsiding statement that they made about what the new PlayStation, and that no physical media, no physical discs are going to be a thing anymore. And then essentially that can be taken away from you at any point. I'm sorry, but that to me doesn't equal ownership.
Yo, wow.
I'm going to use this as an example. There's an artist that I really like from Mpangeni. His name is Lungelo Manzi. And one day he decided that he didn't quite like how a certain album of his reflected on his image anymore, and he removed it. That happened to be my favorite album by this man. Okay, and it's gone. I can't listen to that again. I mean, I obviously never bought any physical media. I never owned it, but that is now a piece of like that musical history and musical history that was important to me specifically that I can now not get anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's why I think for archival purposes, for beyond just that's sick, that's cool, that's also part of an artistic expression. Just for the sake of archiving, I have CDs here from like Gangsterdam, from like way back in the day, and like I wish I had collected more CDs in that era, like especially like the late 2010s, where that was the main way, with it was either SoundCloud or CD or Tix or a campus radio station. That was how people heard your music.
That's also why I think Bandcamp as a platform is great, because you purchase the music directly. You download those tracks. They're on you with them. So I still see that even though it's still digital, you actually physically own the music now. Like, you've got it. They're not going to be able to take it away from you. Like Spotify and all that other kind of stuff. I mean, it's great. It makes you an international artist. It really does. Somebody asked me the other day, like, do you consider Man Motels as like an international artist? Well, I said, thanks to Apple Music and Deezer and Spotify. I mean, it is, because everybody has access to our music. It's not as if they're looking for us, but we can be found like abroad, like where if before we were just actually relying on physical stuff, it would be very, like closed off. We'd be super restricted. So I think there are positives, but I think right now the negatives definitely outshine what digital media has done to music.
Mhm. No, absolutely. Like it's a huge like point of debate because I don't. There's a lot of people who don't necessarily consider these things, who don't necessarily care about them, and who don't see it as that big of a deal. But I still feel like it's a case of you won't think it's that big of a deal unless something you love that you believe you own is taken away from you. Okay, or something that you thought you owned. Like I think there's very much a difference between a personal like experience and then understanding kind of what's happening here.
Yeah.
That got very like into the nitty gritty of what's going on with of a deeply like
For sure.
against like corporate greed at the moment. I find that every year I get older, I get more and more radicalized to like fucking eat the rich or some shit. I was like,
Yeah, you also don't think about it, because like again, everything moves so fast, and all of a sudden all these platforms are available, the convenience is there, everything is great, but you don't really see what it's doing, and what it's taken away.
hmm,
But you also don't have a choice. I mean,
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
as an artist, you can't just entirely push back unless you're already huge. Like we're not King Gizzard. We can't just be like,
If we're gonna
what
take our
about?
music off Spotify, nobody's gonna give a shit. Nobody, yeah, we're like, what? Who the fuck are the Man Motels?
it's like it sounds so dick. It's like all 50 of your listeners are going to be devastated.
Yeah.
In this line of talking, you guys recently had a tour overseas, and looking at like some of the dates. I mean, you guys played. It was, let's have a look here. It was like, is this where did you guys tour overseas to? Because it looks like a couple of countries. Was Tokyo one of them, or is there a place called Tokyo in Lisbon?
No.
Like, like please, like, can I just not read? Do I have the media literacy of a newborn?
So we played. Let me just like list the countries. We played shows in Portugal, Then we went up to Belgium. We played in the Netherlands. We played Italy. Tokyo Bar is just like a very famous bar in Lisbon, in Portugal. So that was the first show we played when we arrived in Europe. So we played Lisbon. We went up to Porto, which is like in the north of Portugal, and we went to a smaller town, Braga, also in Portugal. So we played 3 shows in Portugal. Then we went up to Belgium. We played a very sick show in Ghent, a very beautiful city, and a very cool venue. Like, as far as I understand, like, obviously I'm not steeped in the deep traditions of the Belgian music scene, but Upsness, has quite a lot of heritage, Gareth, if I'm right.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So it's one of those venues that a lot of like bands have really like kind of found their feet, or that was like kind of what springboarded them into the public eye, you know. So it was great to play that kind of venue and experience the hospitality and speak to the people. And yeah, Belgium was really cool. I regret not spending more time in the country, but there's always next year.
Yeah, true that.
Tell me a bit more about like those experiences in Europe, like for instance Portugal, because I don't really hear of many guys going to like for example Portugal, or just like to highlight some of like your favorite experiences and within those motherfucker. If I could get a decent sentence out, that would be so great.
Have you ever had a dream that that you had you
Okay, like just highlight some of your favorite experiences within that tour.
Yeah, I mean, Portugal is a very, like, it's an amazing country. Like, if you could just, even for its own sake, to just go to Portugal, I think it's always a great experience. The people are very welcoming. Both, or almost every band we played with there was incredibly welcoming. Especially a band we played with in Portugal, Tree Wax, a very sick band. You guys should definitely check them out. Some sick, like, Midwestern emo vibes. But like, they would take time off, like, from their lives and to just show us around their city. They're very proud of their city. Took us to like a Christmas, well, I mean, not Christmas, but like sort of mid-June festival where there was all kinds of different food on display, like local stuff, showing us around, taking us to try the different things, showing us the like boardwalk way Primavera Sound, which is like a massive music festival that happens in Portugal, letting us like walk around the festival grounds and just sort of like welcoming us to their city. So I thought that was like a very special experience. So we got like an insider view of Portugal.
Shout out True Works. Yeah, no, but Portugal was really, it was very similar to South Africa in terms of,
Yeah.
how, like the hospitality and how friendly they were and the food and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Portugal was sick.
Then we, as Gareth was saying earlier, like we went to Belgium. We arrived on a rainy night. It was very late, so we didn't really get to see much.
And it was cold as fuck.
Yeah, it was like a cold snap when we were there. We played the show, and then we kind of had to move on. We spent more time in the Netherlands, and that was sick. Like playing in The Hague, Sneester Festival is like
Yeah.
the best festival I've ever been to in my life, man. There was just like so many amazing bands, and like the way it's laid out in the city, it's like South by Southwest.
Yeah. And our show was sick as fuck. We had a good show. It was packed. It was fucking awesome. Yeah.
So I think for me, like that festival was a highlight. Getting to see like Gurrias, Knives, Fat Brain. There was just so many amazing bands, and like you can just walk around the sort of market square of The Hague, and there's the venues all over the place. So you're just seeing all the festival goers. You're watching this band at this venue. You go to a different venue, you watch another band. You can pick like, I want maybe something more high energy, something a bit low energy. Everyone's having a great time. So like truly probably one of the best festivals I've been to.
Italy was pretty sick as well. Italy, we went, we played like a obscure place first, like in the middle of nowhere, but it ended up being like a really fun show, like very like DIY vibe, but yeah, nonetheless, great venue, good sound. It was a fun event again. Hospitality was great. We had like proper Italian food made by like an Italian nonna. It was fucking delicious. Then we played 2 festivals. We played a festival in Venice, which is really cool, like a very nice like DIY fest. Carl got some food poisoning from the vegan food there. Like I was like chundering on the train on the way back.
On
It was
the
still
train,
the wrong
man.
train. It was a fucking mess, bro. That thing was crazy. But anyways, hey, when in Italy, yeah, when in Italy, and then we played. The last show was when we started our conversation at the beginning. When you went recording it, we spoke about Milan, and then we played this like really cool, like punk hardcore fest, which is really fucking sick as well. It's a great way to end the tour. Also, again, everybody's super like helpful and keen to have you there, and people like, I don't know, bro. It just, when you end up doing something like that, it's not like you're even trying to compare it to the South African music scene, but it just makes you hungry to go back, because what they're doing there, the way that they treat the artists, the way things are run, the way the bands are, the etiquette in general, like everything just has this such appeal to it that we
Yeah.
we were on the flight on the way back, and we're like, okay, we have to come back next year. When are we going to be there? What's a good month for us to be back here? But yeah, bro. So it really is special, and I think it's worth, if the bands find themselves in a position where they can make it happen for themselves, it really is a life changing like opportunity. It's really special, bro. Especially you get to spend. It's a different kind of time that you spend with your band as well, bro. Because I know Lyle. We've known each other for many years. I know Carl. We play, we get together, but when we get together, we do sometimes get together outside of the band, but otherwise, it's always practice and it's at shows. So that's the time that you spend with these guys. But when you're on tour, you see the good, the bad, and the fucking ugly. Like, you know what I mean? But you're still there together. It's like you are your safe zone. The three of you together, it's like this is your unit, and it's really special. The time that we spent together, I think, was really, really, it was great, bro. And I really look forward to doing it again, because there's so many things that we want to do again together, and there's so many things that I know we can do better together. So it's going to be really sick to pull it off again.
And like
Yeah.
something that I want to touch on regarding this as well is that touring internationally is obviously like a very big hurdle, a very like big obstacle for a lot of local bands. It's something that genuinely seems like a very far off or an impossible task. Now I know you guys long before you even started, like I think with this international tour, you had been kind of crawling across the country with South Africa itself, playing as many different shows, as many different cities. I mean, yeah, like what kind of steps did you take for an international tour to even be viable?
Like it does take time. It takes a lot of like time and effort. You need to really, again, it comes down to like, what do you want? Because, the commitment and also the financial kind of input that comes into something like this. If you're somebody who's doing it for a hobby, you're not a fucking going to do that, because it's going to take so much out of you. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of. It's tough, bro. It's not easy. I mean, obviously, it's great to get this opportunity, but it's definitely not easy while you're there. And you're going to have to take a burn. So if you want it, you need to do it, because, again, it's like the school of life, bro. Like, you go there and you learn so much about yourself and your band members, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. You get to like introduce your music to a whole new different like personnel, like, to an international audience, and like completely outside of your comfort zone. There's nothing that can beat that. But I mean, you need to have a product that you believe in too. You need to feel like you've earned the right. I mean, I've always felt like we worked hard enough. We've written the best music that we can produce, or written, and we've played at as many festivals as possible. We try to get the big opportunities, because like we feel like we've earned it. Like, we've worked hard enough to get us into the position. So I think, at the end of the day, there's also so many places you can play. Eventually, like, you get to like, what else can we play now? Like, there's only so many venues in Cape Town. How many times can you go up to Gauteng? How many times we haven't been to Durban, but we want to do that next. But eventually, you get to a stage where like we feel like we can do this. Like, let's go and test the waters. We tight enough. We've got the music. Let's bite the bullets and fucking send it, bro. And we went for it, and it was fucking sick. Like, I think we absolutely loved every single show, all the people we met. It was such a rewarding experience for all of us. That's again, like I keep on saying over and over again, we will definitely do it again.
I think, yeah, like you're saying, like to some extent, deciding like when you're going to go over, it's like you should first feel like you've done what you can do here. Play everywhere that you can, and then you sort of feel like, okay, well, what else can we do here? There's not that much that we can do. What's the next thing we can do? And the only thing that you can do is play somewhere else. But you have to put in the time in this country
Yeah.
to do everything that you can do. Like, try exhaust everything that you can do. Play everywhere, move around, play different cities, play different festivals, play with different bands.
It's all part of the process. It's all part of the preparation. Without preparation, there's no fucking ways you're gonna be able to do something like that, because it's so taxing. And also, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of like expectation that comes with it. So if you're going to go out there and you're not prepared and you haven't done time and effort, I'm not saying that you're going to fail, but you're setting yourself up for like a very difficult time.
I 100% agree with that. Like, I don't think people realize how much strain it puts on you. mean, just even going to a different city for the first time as an artist, like
True.
I remember my first shows playing in different cities, and I was like, "Fuck, man, this feels hectic." And then there's obviously levels to this, it goes. But on a side note, I think Durban would actually fucking love you guys.
Yeah, bro, I'd fucking love to go to Derbs.
I have a feeling that Durban would be a good fit for you guys. A good, like, you actually sound more like a Durban band than a Cape Town band. Now that I think about it, actually, so
It's because I'm from the EC, bro. You can hear my fucking EC twang in my fucking yeah, bro. So like, if we go to Derbs, I will definitely try and twist these Oaks arms in the band to do a show in East London at least, bro. I know, like, I mean, so I'm from East London, but we'll definitely try and do. It's just because if you're gonna do that trip, you can go play 3 shows in Derbs, but at least on the way down there, play like a few shows. Like, I mean, when are you gonna go down the Garden Route again? To be honest, I don't think very often. So whilst you're doing it, let's see what we can make of it, and we do like a little like coastal fucking tour of some sorts. I'd love to do it. And I was chatting to the guys from, I think it's the bassist. I'm just trying to think of his name. I think, like Mosh Events.
oh yes, Keegan.
Yeah. So Keegan, yeah, bro. So we had a quick conversation about potentially going up to Durban. We haven't decided upon dates and that, but we'll probably use it as an opportunity to also like showcase the new album. So once we start promoting the new music, we can always like head down the coast, do Durban, and we can go up to Joburg and do Joburg and Pretoria, and then we come back to Cape Town. I mean, it's all within the same like sphere, Just fucking do it and have fun and promote the music and do a little South African tour.
So yeah, obviously my first time was seeing you guys at Misty Waters. I thought you guys were absolutely fucking sick. You guys had a whole like different energy to a lot of the bands that were there. And I touched on a couple of things, and one of the things that I touched on specifically when I spoke about Misty Waters was your statement about how this being the least pretentious festival that you had played. And like there's no getting around it. There's a lot of like pretentious natures within our music scene. There are a lot of people who can be very unpleasant to deal with in a lot of different ways. But I wholeheartedly agree with that whole sentiment. Like there wasn't a single point throughout that whole festival that I felt uncomfortable, like, or awkward about something. It just felt like such a damn good time all around.
Yeah, I think Misty was great. I think all of us actually enjoyed it. Uh, we have gotten to experience some really cool like festivals and played really cool shows. Um, but I think like overall, like Misty was really special from when we started making contact with the festival. Like so, in terms of communication, like actually getting there, seeing the venue for the first time. There's, I mean, I won't mention any names, but I've heard like bands be like, "Oh, you're Norway's bro. Secunda is like so shit, bro." Like, but you're like, when you get there, like, holy fuck, this place is sick. I thought it was beautiful, bro. I thought the venue was great. The way they set it up was sick. Our tents had like everything was so clearly marked, and everybody's so like paying attention to detail. They're like, "Are you guys happy? Do you know where you need to go? This is what time you have to be at. Please, here's my number. Give me a shout. This is where you get food." Like, bro, we felt so well taken care of.
But like as an artist, it was a great experience. But also just being there as a participant, it's like a festival just has like sort of a sense of community, and everyone's there to just have a good time. Like no one's judging. Everyone just does what they want. It just has a good time. It's just all vibes.
Have us back, Dion. Have us back.
Or we can just go, bro.
Yeah, we just gotta fucking go. Come on.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat to me. Yeah, it's been an absolute blast getting to chat to you guys. I can't wait to hear the new music that's coming out. I can't wait to see you guys up in Joburg again. Genuinely hope you get down to Durban at some point, because again, I think that those guys will love you.
Before you sign off as well, again, like big up to what you guys are doing too. The fact that you're having these conversations and having the bands online, I think it's really fucking cool. Like, a lot of people might look past it, but I think it really is sick. And we had this conversation as well about how it was my fiance's cousin. They screenshot something like one of these episodes that you did, and they were like, "You need to have this conversation with Sludge Underground," like. And then that's when you had that story that said, "Well, who should bring on?" And then I was like, "No fucking ways, bro." And then I was like, "If this is not meant to be, then I don't know, bro." So we stoked to be here. We're keen to have a conversation. We love what you do. Keep up the great work and keep on fucking promoting South African music, bro. I think what we got down this side is very special.
All for the love of the game. But yeah, guys, this has been an absolute blast. For those of you watching, don't Don't forget to check out our merch store. We have a whole bunch of like cool stuff that you can check out there. Don't forget to check out the Discord if you want to be part of the discussion. If you want to just join the chat or just come say hi, we're always there. Come talk to us. And if you want to support the platform, you can check us out on Buzzsprout. We do have a platform there. If you want to drop a donation, we do most of this for free. So please, we're poor.